predict we're gonna disconnect at least once, because that happens within like the first hour almost every time, I've noticed. So I predict some disconnection to server at some point. Yes. This isn't Doc. Ah, you're here. Welcome. Hiya. Welcome to the stream. Whew. It does feel like a Monday, that's for sure. Weather's a tad bit nicer out, though. I do love this armor, though. This is beautiful. That sword is awesome. Yeah, really completes the look.
I'm a sexy boy.
I have yet to re-customize my chocobo, though. I don't know what I need to customize my chocobo. Like, I don't know if it's like a preset that's already available, or if you gotta buy shit. I don't know.
But I know you can do it.
How am I feeling? I'm doing alright.
I'm feeling alright. How are you?
My beard, on the other hand, is all over the place. Yum.
Yum yum!
Alright, yeah, so we're gonna wait our standard 10 minutes or so. Standard 10 minutes or so for folks to churn on in so we can continue with the Heavensward story. I did have the stream pre-set up a half hour in advance, so hopefully some folks have gotten the notification for those who are looking out for it and are eager to join on in. So we got a little bit over 8 minutes, because that'll bring us to the 10-minute mark in the stream and allow folks to hop on in. For anyone watching the VOD of the stream, skip to the 10-minute mark, and that's about where we're going to continue the Heavensward storyline. Hey, Cavantus, welcome to the stream. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I should probably close Discord because I don't want notifications distracting me. Never do that. Close that. Yes, good. There we are. Whew. So how's everyone else doing this fine Monday? I downloaded the game as well, having a great time so far. Awesome. I'm happy to hear it. Keep in mind the story is everything in a Realm Reborn story is building up. Everything, every expansion is a continuation onto the same story. So pay attention, read through, take your time, don't rush nothing, and just enjoy the ride. Everything in the next expansions is going to be just as viable when Endwalker comes out as before. So, take your time, enjoy, and have a great ride. If you don't want anything spoiled, I don't recommend watching this stream. I'm in Heavensward, which is in the expansion following A Realm Reborn, and there's a lot of events that are going on right now in the Heavensward story that you need to kind of know A Realm Reborn story to get like the full impact of and understand what's going on. So, just keep that in mind.
Spoilers ahead. As well as for all the Heavensward streams. Spoiler.
Just go walking there. Menacing blade. I generally read all the texts. I am a lore guy. Respect. Which is wise to do. I am also a lore guy. I love reading stories and taking my time, absorbing the information provided to me by the characters and by the dialogue and by the situations and the quest text and all the beautiful shit. Any progress on crafting? Did you do the quest for the thing that rhymes with criteria? I'm not sure why you care. Seriously, dude, you hound me more than my mother about stuff. Is that typical for Scots? Or over in Scotland? Just Oh, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Why do you care? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you... Ah! Are you also gonna complain I can't fly yet in this zone? Dude, chill the fuck out. The answer is no, though. I didn't have much time the previous night. Lots of stuff happened IRL. I didn't get to play much more of the game last night. So, all I was able to do crafting-wise was nothing. No crafting. I just want what's best for my wee sapling. It's like, yeah, but yeah, I'll get to it. It's just there's a million and one things in the game I'm sure I have to do as well. So give it time. But no, I have not done any materia crafting, melding, minding, unminding, whatever. None of that has occurred. Are these dyeable, by the way? I just noticed. Yeah, I think they are. I'm not going to. The color's already right, but just notice that. But no crafting experience. I spent what time I did spend last night before going to bed, because I was tired, given afternoon events. I mostly spent. Okay, there it is. I mostly spent it going through unlocking the ether thing. So hoping to avoid you whining about that. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it for the Churning Mists because none of the 5 unlock quests are available yet. We will grab those today when they become available, I'm assuming as we progress the MSQ. But that was the only thing I was able to get done last night. There's only so many hours in the day. And only so much energy I have left at the end of each day, especially after spending my afternoon crying. So that kind of saps you of energy, both emotionally and physically. When you have one of those good cries, you need to sleep. Like, you will need to sleep. Happens every time. Alright, so we got another 3 minutes to go. Just about another 3. And then we'll set upon our path. The Moogles are everywhere. I still haven't done the coils, and I think I'm already halfway through Heavensward, so that I hear you can solo the coils if you're like level 70. If you have a level 70 character, I hear you can solo the coils if you just solo queue and don't sync. I've heard that. I don't know if there's any validity to that, but I'm assuming so. Okay. It's a cat with the fur thingies. Oh, my leg. Oh, my leg. Yes, we're gonna turn in this quest to Moogles, and then we gotta pick up Mogmugs and the other one's quest. Hopefully, we actually get to meet Hralsvelgr. I still can't fucking say it right. Hralsvelgr. I'll simplify it to Hrail. Or Velgr. Or the Big H Dragon. We'll go with Big H Dragon. Drago. We'll go Big H Drago. Big H Drago. I hope we get to meet him today. I was hoping we actually would yesterday, but I didn't realize we'd have to do all this stuff with the Moogles first. So, damn it! Probably retitled the previous stream just because of that. Alright, so we're just about at the 10-minute mark. So, we're gonna get underway here. Alrighty. Headphones on the off chance this voice dialogue at some point. Hope everybody's got their snackaroos, ready to sit down and begin progressing. And we are now at the 10-minute mark, continuing our journey to Heavensward.
Huh, did you have any trouble finding Cloud's Breath? I do need it quite urgently, you know.
There you go.
Oh yes, these are perfect, Kupo. Now I have the main ingredient for my palm tonic. Speaking of which, how are you feeling, sir? Should you ever feel your palm losing its bounce, then I'm your Moogle, Kupo.
Get a bit here. Oh look, we got our unlock. I'm assuming that'll be our aetheryte unlock. I'll go right now while I see it. I'll need this one and the other ones as well.
Have you ever bathed in the waters of the Northeast? Of course not, because a gang of burly Hropkins has been attacking any who goes near them, Kupo. If you were kind enough to slay a few, that might scare them away, giving me time for a dip in the waters.
Margaret. I almost said Margaret, but I know it's the name, so Margaret. Is that like Margaret? Actually, do the Moogles have genders? I didn't know I'd be asking these questions.
Yes, you have the pleasure of speaking with Mogmug. I know, I am the fluffiest, most enchanting creature you have ever laid eyes upon, Kupo. It isn't easy being this adorable. I can barely take a stroll outside without those relentless Dravanians throwing themselves at me. Why, they look as if they might just gobble me right up. In any case, fleeing their overbearing adulation is growing a bit tiresome. Your trial, sir, is this. Find these ardent archaeosaurs and slap some manners into them, Kupo. Perhaps a firm smack on the snout will teach them to appreciate my charm from afar.
Right.
Mogwin's the name. The art is my game. When it comes to painting, there are none in Mogholm who can match my talent with a brush, Kupo. I know why you have come. Chieftain Moglin has demanded that I testify your trustworthiness. But as I trust no one to create art that will satisfy me, I instead charge you with retrieving a masterpiece I seem to have misplaced. It was an ambitious and innovative work, guaranteed to fetch at least 4 Kupo nuts on the open market. You must find it to question the masses. Surely a pebble painted with such vibrant color and unmistakable panache? Panache. I said panache. Panache cannot have escaped the notice of every Moogle in Mogholm.
Right. So, we gotta find a pebble, beat up an archaeosaur, and slay Hropkins. But that's for the ether.
Mogwin is missing his masterpiece, Kupo? Oh, you mean the paint-smeared mess of a pebble? I've not seen it recently, a fact for which my eyes are profoundly grateful.
Oh, ooh. Someone be throwing shade. Sass.
Maestro Mogwin has misplaced his masterpiece, Kupo. Oh, happy day.
My god. Nobody likes this man's painting. Or this Moogle's painting.
If I am the swifter in finding it, I will soon have a genuine Mogwin for the price of a little perspiration. Honestly, who has 4 Kupo nuts just lying about to spend on such luxuries?
This is weird.
I don't know much about his stone, but I do know Mogwin's been creeping out the back way to some Isle's summit from time to time, Kupo. Maybe he left it up there.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so... Oh, whoops. I had to tell him that. Okay, I thought we were gonna go grab it.
Well, what did you find out, Kupo?
Yeah, your little pebble is somewhere else.
Yes, now that you mention it, I do seem to recall leaving my pebble out in the sun to dry. Ahem. The second part of your trial commences. Go, adventure, and retrieve my masterpiece before some art-starved admirer swipes the stone for himself.
My god, these things are narcissistic. Oh, yeah, I think I have to go around the other side, actually, because gotta go higher. I got to go higher. Alright. Over yonder. There it is. Painted stone. Well, he's left it right next to the shade. Alright. Found his damn pebble, let's give him his pebble. And that'll be one more trial down, then we have one more, and then obviously the side quest.
Do you have it, Kupo? Is my masterpiece safe?
Yes, it is.
Yes, this is my work.
Reverend Norris, thank you for the super chat,
More
man.
gil
Thank you,
for the
thank you, thank you,
cause.
thank you. Yo, Asmo, what server you on? Your playing of FF has made me update my own, which I had no time for before. If I get time now, I hope to meet you sometime. I'm on Marlborough, but the data center is Crystal. I'm on the Crystal data center. Server is Marlborough. And I'd be happy to have you.
Yes, this is my work. Is it not exquisite? I call it Contemplations of Zenith. Thank you, sir. At least I can exchange my art for those delectable Kupo nuts. Chieftain Moglin will hear of this valorous deed.
Right. Now the Archaeosaur. And the bathing bullies. Yeah, but thank you for the super chat, man. That was super generous of you, and I very, very much appreciate it. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm working my way through the Heavensward stories, so, if you don't want spoilers, prior warning. Hello? I booped this snoot. Alright. And before we head back, we'll make our way... yeah, we'll make our way around to the second requested job. Get them both done while I'm out and about. Yep. Yeah. I'm on Marlboro. I think it's pronounced Marlboro. I hope I'm saying that right. Kind of sounds like the cigarette brand. Marlboro. Around where I live, everyone says Marlboro. No one says Marlboro. It's Marlboro. Now to shorten it. That thick northeastern accent. That's one ugly motherfucker. And we'll get a 2-for-1. Oh wait, you! Over here. Done and dusted. Charlie Hill! Actually, the thing is, my eyes are still kind of crusty and stuff from yesterday. Like, I was up for a very short amount of time after we finished the stream up yesterday. I did need to take a good hour to try and calm down, try and shake off the mood. Yeah, part of the break I took from the game was editing the video together real quick. I didn't even really watch it, so I was like, I edited it very quickly, and I didn't watch most of it, so, I don't know, I guess it would be awkward if I watched myself cry, so, I don't know if there's anything weird in the video that I should have cut out. Nobody's mentioned in the comments of the video yet, so.
More gil for the cause.
Thank you, Reverend North, for the super chat, man. Thank you. Was an FF11 player back in the day. Yeah, I was told about that. It's another MMO that was made with the FF franchise, which I didn't even know about. I hear it's still going on. And got 14 just as I got a new job IRL, so never really played 14. Yeah, you've made me take another look at it for that I thank you. Well, I'm glad I helped you. I'm glad I helped to re-engage your engines and playing some FF. And 14 is, I got an amazing story, fantastic story, better story than any MMO has the right to. It's got a unbeatable community. Pretty much everything about it is top tier, more or less. And there's a reason. I don't really trust IGN when it comes to reviews half the time, but when they get it right, they get it right. They're top 10 MMORPGs of this last year. They put FF at the top, and I gotta say, I agree. and every moment I've spent playing it has just been a literal blast of enjoyment. Alright, let's turn in both of these. Whoops.
Many thanks, brave adventurer. Finally, I can enjoy a bath without the smell of raw dragoon fish assaulting my senses. Say, a dip in the waters might serve to, freshen you up as well, Kupo.
Hey, did you just tell me I stink? Yeah, I smell like blood, the blood of my enemies. Alright, so we got our first ether quest there.
You were able to humble my Dravanian devotees? Wonderful. You are as capable as I am captivating, Kupo. Still, my precious perfection does not excuse those louts from pursuing me so mercilessly. Their tongues are lolling and bellies rumbling. The Dravanians and their ilk have much to learn about acceptable acts of admiration.
Right. You gotta give it this, the Moogles are at least interesting. Incredibly weird, but interesting. Alright, ready to pass your judgment?
Shroud, if that is what you insist on calling yourself. You have completed the trials of trustworthiness administered by the taskmasters Mogan, Mogmug, and Mogwin. During these grueling tests of character, I closely observed your conduct, as well as that of your companions. And I am decided, Kupo. Gather your friends before me now, so that I need not repeat myself needlessly.
Aye. Really? I have to talk to them individually? Yeah, okay. Are these trials over then? My tasks have been little more than household chores. If our house elect not to grant their aid after working on us like pack chocobos, I shall demand compensation in Kupo nuts out of principle. Yeah, look at Alphino, he's working the economy. But I hope it will not come to that. Let us hear the chieftain's verdict, shall we? Indeed. Let's grab Astinian. Oh yeah, it's another thing. I was able to snag 2 dungeons on my Dragoon last night as well. Unfortunately, that only got me to level 47? So I'm not quite done the class quest with that yet. So I'm still learning what's going on with Astinian and that. How go your trials, Warrior of Light? I myself have been sent on a number of expeditions to chastise the local dragon population. Did not their chieftain wish to avoid inflaming the Dravanians? Such contradictions aside, our hosts seem entranced by the height of my leap. They compared me to Mog, a lance-wielding Moogle warrior of Eld, who also favored such attacks. 'Twas meant as a compliment, I expect, but I doubt these furry lumps could outleap a Karakul lamb, much less a dragoon. Conclude your business here swiftly, Shroud. I like not this place. Estinian the edgy boy is like, I hate the fluff balls, can we please leave? Standing here in Mogholm, my thoughts turn inevitably to the legend of good King Moggle Mog XII and his seat in the heavens. Like most, I thought it no more than a myth, a story for younglings that grew with the telling. But with every passing moment I become more certain that we have discovered the origin of the tale. Full eager am I to hear what the chieftain has to say. Alright. Let's grab Kupo. I just realized Kupo has a red, okay, so I just realized that's the difference. Is, Kupo has red as a little red ball, and the rest of them have purple, or violet.
We've become such friends, Kupo. My Moogle cousins love to sing and dance as much as I do. Chieftain Moglin has finally come to a decision, has he? Well, I suppose I'd better flutter over and see him then.
What sorcery is this? That my heart should stir at mere fluffiness. She finds him adorable. Shroud! I was... No matter. What is it? Chieftain Moglin has made his decision? Well, let us not keep him waiting then. Really? And they're kind of creepy to me. I mean, I don't think they're like horrifying or anything, but cute? I don't know if I'd go so far as to call him cute. I think that's a bit far.
Never have I seen such determined workers, Kupo. It would have taken us moons to complete all these dreary chores and niggling errands.
You lazy motherfuckers. You lazy motherfuckers.
Trials of trustworthiness.
Fuck you. You just lazy. And have our labors proven the purity of our intentions, Chieftain?
Without a doubt. In fact, there was never really all that much doubt to begin with. You were all, after all, already friends with a fellow Moogle. But you see, before any meeting with Hrasvelga could take place, certain preparations needed to be made. And what better way to help you pass the time than by having you perform all the tiresome tasks that no one ever wants to do, Kupo?
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. He is unamused.
Oh dear! The horn! Bring out the horn quickly now! We blow on this wondrous instrument whenever we wish to speak with the Great Worm, Kupo.
Really? Really?
We haven't perhaps been treating it with the care it deserves of late, and I think Morgan may have sat on it, so we needed some time for cleaning and polishing and straightening. No lasting harm done, though. Now you need simply head to Zenith, the worm's dwelling to the west, and give the horn a good toot.
We are in your debt, Chieftain. Thanks to your noble gift, we shall finally have a chance to plead our case to Hrasvelga.
Very possibly, yes. But I wouldn't get my hopes up too high, Kupo. The old worm isn't terribly fond of,
Your concern is appreciated, but I am quite certain that Hrasvelga will welcome our overtures. Should we ever arrive at this lair? Come, we have squandered enough time already. She hates his ass. I think she's also angry because she has to leave the cute little fluff balls. Chieftain Moglin, we thank you for your gracious hospitality, though we must soon take our leave. I pray that we may continue to nurture the shoots of this new-sprung friendship twixt earth and sky.
Of course, Kupo. Visit us whenever you wish. Consider Mogholm your home amongst the clouds.
Them lazy motherfuckers. We just did chores for them for... Oh, God. They're funny, though. I do like the Moogles. I just think they look kind of off-putting to me. Not like, again, not horrifying, not like, ugh. But I'm just like perplexed by them and their existence. Whoops.
Hey, it wasn't my idea. If the chieftain had spent a little less time sitting about, a little more time chieftaining, things would never have gotten so messy in the first place. And he was the one who sat on the horn, by the way. But now all the errands are done and the horn is fixed. So, all's well that ends well, eh, Kupo?
Sure. You little shit.
Well, I expect you're eager to be on your way. Did I mention your friend was looking for you, Kupo? If not, Alphino is looking for you. I'll be waiting just outside, stretching my wings. Let me know when you're ready to depart.
Sweet lord. To the best of my knowledge, we have all that we need for our trip to Zenith, and I believe the Elder Seedseer and her retinue will soon be making the journey back to Gridania. It would be remiss of us, I think, not to convey our gratitude to them prior to going our separate ways, shall we? Alright, yes. Kani Sena, I would like to bow to you, thank you, and then I'll be on my way. We got to go kind of handle this situation. Alphino, Shroud, I do humbly thank you for what has been a most enlightening experience. Were it not for your pioneering spirit, the existence of these Moogles might never have been revealed to us. Tis we who should be thankful, Elder Seedseer. Were it not for your timely diplomacy, they would never have chosen to reveal themselves at all. And 'twas your presence, Kupo, that ultimately won us their trust. It must have taken great courage to leave the sanctuary of the Twelveswood, and we are exceedingly glad that you did.
It was my pleasure, Kupo. I've made so many new friends and have so many fantastic tales to tell my kinsmoogles back home.
And it is our home that we must now return. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal, my friends. Safe journey, Elder Seedseer. We too must be on our way. Hrasvelgur awaits. Do we finally get to meet this dragon? So where are you gonna get there? Warrior of Light, pray attend closely to your companion, Sir Estinian, beneath that stoical facade. A storm of anguish seethes underneath, unseen. You got it. I got you, Chief. Or Elder. I got you, Elder. Alright. Alright. Shall we go meet us a dragon? Ah, Moogles. There you are.
Have you said your goodbyes and dabbed away your tears, Kupo? Then we are indeed ready to go.
Lead the way, you little shit.
As Chieftain Moglin already explained, the shiny instrument we gave you is the best means of grabbing Hrasvelgur's attention. I'll come along and show you the way to Zenith. That's the big palace where you need to blow the horn. First things first, though, we need to make for Asar. Oh, and watch out for rampaging dragons. Maybe that should have been the first thing, Kupo.
Would have been good to mention. Alright, I see another unlock. I'm assuming that's also for Ether, so let's grab that real quick.
You aren't thinking of heading towards Asar, are you? Best watch yourself if you are Archosaurs stalk the road, looking for an easy meal. If only someone could drive them away, Kupo. Oh, you seem the type for dragon hunting. Why don't you slay 3 of the Archosaurs and open the road back up for the Moogle traffic? Once the deed is done, let Mogmont and Asar know.
Alright. It does unlock Ether. Okay, good. And we need 4 more. Wait, no, I think I grabbed that one. Excuse me, I think I grabbed the wrong one. Sorry, turning miss, there it is. We still need 4 more. Either way, the number is still correct. Sorry for the hiccups. Looks like we have us a dragon fight. Hello, boys. How are you?
Slaughtered me a couple dragons.
Alright. Just up the way. Roadkill. Aha!
Akasor, your days have been numbered, my friend.
I don't know if the voice I'm doing for the Moogles is getting old, so let me know, but... I just been running with it. There we go. Alright. 2 more, let me get that one. Hello. And 1 more.
We need just but 1 more. Ah, yes, you will do.
I'm a little shit. Ow! Stop biting me!
This armor isn't for show.
My apologies. Need a drink there. Well,
I'm a bit partial to a melee fight myself.
I'm killing dragons like little pests alongside the road.
But I wouldn't be much of a knight if I couldn't take down a dragon.
Trying to... Once I finish Dragoon, I'm also considering what class I want to level on the side next. I'm thinking about Gladiator, but I'm not sure if I want to go Gladiator or if I want to go Ninja.
Is that someone from below? How did you get past the Archosaurs infesting the road? What? Mogsy asked you to slay them for him? It's just like him to depend on the kindness of strangers. We've barely been able to venture outside of Asar for fear of being attacked. Now, thanks to you, the roads are just a little safer, Kupo.
I appreciate the ether. Alright, so that means 3 more. I'm assuming there's one for... There's going to be a dungeon one. As I know I'm getting one along... Once we continue along with the main MSQs. Once we finish up the necessary MSQs, then we're good to go. I think.
Things were a bit bitey for a while there, but I think we've arrived in one piece, Kupo. I wonder what has the dragon so awfully snappy. I mean, the bad ones are always bad, but they seem worse than usual.
Do tell. For Ninja, you need to start it as a level 1 rogue, so it's more grind to add to the big pile. Is it the same for Gladiator, though? Or is Gladiator... because I assume Gladiator to Paladin is also a level 1 to max deal. I got another... And they're giving me all the gauges. Okay, the blood gauge. Alright, so the blood gauge displays the amount of black blood a Dark Knight has accumulated. Black blood can be consumed to execute actions such as Blood Spiller and Quietus, acquired at level 64. Using certain actions will increase the blood gauge. Okay. They keep adding more and more abilities to my hotbar that I can barely fit. As is. This symbol indicates the defensive stance grit is in effect, which increases enmity. Okay, so this is just the previous information, so it's just the blood gauge is just new. Alright, and the first ability we get with it is Blood Spiller. It delivers an attack with a potency of 600. Okay. Oh. I'll be curious to test that out when I get the chance. Same? Alright. So either way, it's still level 1.
We may have a small problem, Kupo. When the winds are high like this, Razvelga invariably abandons his lofty perch and heads to the lands below to hunt. If you tried blowing the horn now, I doubt he'd hear it. I suggest we stop at the clearing up ahead and rest until the wind dies down.
Oh damn it, Moogles have been paying attention. They know his hunting and resting habits. And I suppose if there's a big, important, badass dragon that's the progeny of Midgard's Midgard Swarmer, I suppose you would keep your eye on it. But all right, so we're resting up ahead. Same? Here. No.
This should do nicely, Kupo. The winds will likely have died down by tomorrow, but until then we might as well make ourselves comfortable.
If we must interrupt our journey so close to its end, I suppose this place is as good as any. And mayhap a brief respite from the hardships of the road will help to clear our minds in readiness for the coming parley. Very well, then. I believe a campfire is in order. Leave the gathering of fuel to me. I acquired a keen nose for firewood during my time in the frozen wastes of Kurthus. Clear our minds? 'Tis Master Alphino whose mind needs clearing. The thought of meeting a great worm in the flesh has befuddled the boy. Oh, murderous kitten. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Did you see him stroll away as if these ruins were not crawling with deadly beasts? Follow him, Shroud, and see what the wildlife does not make a meal of our young friend. And leave the two of you to bicker amongst... Great. Two of you need to be kept in check. We will have the camp ready by the time you return. Alright. Let's gather around the campfire and sing our campfire song. Oh, Oh, Dragon Hasvelger, please listen to us, will you? We merely wish to parley and talk and hopefully avoid death, because people don't want to die in Ishgard. Oh, Ishgard, Ishgard, it should not burn. Nidhogg, Nidhogg, his rage comes through the sky. Our campfire song. I know it's a reference to something, I just don't know off the top of my head what you're referencing. I don't know every reference. I know it is a reference, just not sure to what. Excuse me, Dragon, this was a private affair. Who gave you permission to enter this fray? I did not. SpongeBob, man. Oh, okay, it was SpongeBob. Yeah, I don't remember that. Come on, my brain only has so much room. Icy Blade, welcome to the stream. Campfire song. Oh, right. Oh, is that the one that he spells it out the whole time? C-A-M-P-I-F-I-R-E. C-A-M-P. Yeah, I remember it now, okay. Don't get on my butt because I don't remember that. Come on. That was like years ago. Last time I watched SpongeBob, I was like... Okay, I think I maybe tuned into some of, like, 1 or 2 episodes with when I was babysitting my cousins, like, a year ago. But other than that, like, actually sat down and dedicatedly watched it. It's probably been almost a decade? Probably another year before it'll be a decade. So 9 years, give or take. Asmo's getting old. I'm getting up in years. It's actually crazy to think how old SpongeBob is as a show. And so I think I'm gonna move the compass there. Kills. I do a little bit of ability finagling here. Do I actually want to put that there? I don't know. I'll put that there for now. Let's see, I'll move this back. And I will put... Probably put interrupt back there. Alright. We'll see if that works. I'll probably have to eventually remove sprint from my hotbar as well, just to make room for all the abilities I'm locking as we go along. I still remember, and I'm 23, and I'm 21, almost 22, and I do not. You have a better memory than I. Well, to be fair, I did remember it. It's just I didn't remember it well. It took some coaxing, so it's in there. It's just buried beneath a lot of other important information. I see. I was right to worry about the boy's safety. Once Alphino returns with the wood, we can see about supper. The Ice Queen has filled a pot with what looked like stew ingredients, ready for the fire. You can add a 4th bar. Well, it's not even really the number of bars, it's the hotkeys. I only have so many keys I use on my keyboard before I run out of ones I can use. I'll probably use the F1 through F4 as well. Like, I'll probably add those to the hotbar as well, just so I have more options. I am 34. I never watched SpongeBob, and from what I've seen, I don't want to. Well, it's a show that you definitely would have needed to grow up with to like. Like, I don't think you can be an adult who grew up without it and can watch it now. Like, first of all, it's a kid's show, so once you grow up, if you didn't experience it, you don't have the nostalgia factor. Don't get me wrong, there is some humor in it that actually only adults will get, but it's very seldom in there. Especially in the newer stuff from the clips I've seen. Few things compare to the simple pleasure of sitting beside a crackling campfire of one's own making. Ha! So speaks the great explorer. Until recently, you wouldn't have recognized firewood if it came with kindling and a flint. 'Tis well you instructed me so patiently, then. But yes, left to my own devices, I would have been compelled to signal to I almost said her name wrong, Isail, with a pile of damp leaves. I was born the pampered son of a Charlian dignitary, and alongside my twin became the youngest student ever to be accepted into this studium. How proud I was to match wits with scholars and philosophers, how ignorant of mine own shortcomings. The hubris that invited manipulation and betrayal, and led to the downfall of the Scions. And at least he's reflecting properly on it. And yeah, the thing is, I'm glad what this is actually highlighting is because he's lived in such a high society, you know, thinking about talking with scholar about basically at the tippy tier about intellectual discussions. What you neglect to understand once you've reached that height is the basics of life. Like he's experiencing right now, the importance of just simply collecting firewood and getting it heated up so you can make some stew out in the wild, and traveling. There's different tiers of importance of like knowledge that you can collect over your years of living, and I think Alpha Noah's only ever experienced this, like the high tier intellectual discussions, which are important to have, but you don't have really a good basis for certain bits of that without having experienced the basers of life. So you can match wits with a scholar and a philosopher all you want, but without that base experience of life, you can't truly understand the essence of what you're talking about in those higher tier intellectual discussions without that base experience and knowledge. So it does shed a bit of light on his naivete and why the Scions fell, and him creating the Crystal Braves. All of that came from his own hubris, which is crafted when you're in like that supposed high society. It's still not an excuse, though. He was very stupid. For someone who's supposed to be so smart, he was being very stupid. We all of us are guilty of similar ignorance. How many men lay down their lives never knowing what it is that they fight for? Never questioning that which they have been taught to believe. "'Twas only upon meeting Hrausvelgr that I learned the truth hidden within our history. Were it not for the chance encounter, I would never have vowed to tear down the Holy See and expunge the falsehoods with which it fans the flames of conflict. I would have lived and died in ignorance. That the truth has driven me to do terrible things I cannot deny, but I would rather sin in the pursuit of peace than imagine myself virtuous for perpetuating a needless war. If this journey has taught me anything, it is the importance and difficulty of holding to one's convictions in the face of failure, of striving always to replace one's ignorance with knowledge." "You are well on your way, Master Alphino. At your age, I was but a fool swinging a spear, with scarcely a thought in my head. Even now, I struggle to acknowledge the misconceptions under which I have labored. Sitting here amongst these grand ruins, how can I deny that man and dragon once lived in peace? But for all that such an age existed, we are now in a time of war. Nidhogg killed my family, and no quirk of history will exonerate him. I may be ignorant of how the Dragon Song War began, but if we do not put an end to this conflict now, I can say for a certainty that will only breed more vengeful souls such as mine. A lot of self-reflection over a campfire. In my hands resides the power to vanquish a great worm. If Ishgard's survival rests on me wielding the power, I will slay Nidhogg himself. Orders or no. I apologize. Estinian, you gave your word. My word is contingent upon the success of our parley. Show me the strength of your convictions, Lady Iceheart. Convince Heavensward of the righteousness of your cause. Doubt not, but that I shall, Dragoon. Gesundheit. Thank you. Well, winds willing, we shall have our answer on the morrow. Let us sleep now and face our fate with the rising of the sun. Avano's father is a hardcore Charlene. Is it Charlene or Charlian? I'll just say Charlene. Is a hardcore Charlian scholar who tried to raise him and his sister in a lifestyle isolated from the outside world, as is a custom for that land. Unlike Louis Soir, Alphinaud's grandpa. Well, yeah, that's what I figured from the context. Not that specifically, but thank you for the specific information. How device? Alright, we're finally meeting this damn dragon?
The campfire was so cozy, I must have fallen asleep, Kupo. But do you feel how the winds have shifted? They will have borne Heavensward back into the skies above Zenith. I'm sure of it. This is your chance to climb to the highest floor of the palace and summon him with a toot on that shiny horn. So, I'll be heading back now, if that's all the same to you. Good luck, Kupo. It was nice knowing you.
Alright, well. Let's go talk to the damn dragon. Are you sure that campfire did not have any weed in it? That might explain the reflection. Well, it would also explain why the little Moogle fell asleep. But no, I don't know if it had weed in it or not. Alright, we're gonna mosey on past this fate. As I am over-leveled for it anyway. The motto of Charlet is to chart the course of history, not to change it. Like, that makes sense if you're looking past on history. Like, you don't want to revise history. That's true. But if it's more in referencing the ongoing history, as in into the future, well, the smallest actions you take, even chartering said history, or said events as they occur, can change them. Because you made a written account. Small things like that change history, so it's kind of impossible to not change history. If we're talking about, again, events ongoing. If we're talking about ancient history, no, well, yeah, that is important. You shouldn't revise history. History should be reiterated as it happened. As dark and as good and as bad, it needs to be honestly portrayed for us to learn the lessons from it properly. If anything is changed for the sensibilities of the modern day, or the sensibilities of the readers or those looking into it, then all you've done is negate any possible tangible and important lessons that could have been learned from it. Not to get too philosophical. Charting the course of history is changing history. Again, it depends on if we're talking about ongoing events. If you're chartering things as they happen, as a historian, by chartering them in a way, you are changing history in minor ways. In some ways, you do it in major ways. If people read your accounts of events that just occurred, they might... like, let's say a general of an army gets a copy of, like, a paper you release out into the world talking about a recent event, and because they read that, they then change their, let's say, their tactic or their planned attack strategy in the war they're engaging in. Things like that are, in small ways, can domino effect into changes in events that might not have changed if you had not chartered that history, or chartered that event. So, again, it depends very much on if you are charting what has been, or if you are charting what is about to be. If you're talking about what is about to be, you are inevitably changing it. If you are looking back on the past and writing about that, and if you change any details, that's called revisionism, and that's also called lying. I don't know why people always use the term revisionism. Like, the thing is, revisionism is the term, but you should also call it what it is, lying. Like, when you change information that happened in history for any reason other than just you worded it wrong before, that's called lying. You are changing history to benefit some unknown reason. Mortals, why do you disturb my solitude? Even charting ancient history is changing it. Not true. If somebody explains why something happened and proves it, it changes our perception and hence change it. True, but loosely. Everyone has a different perception of a thing. You can present the same exact wording, phrasing, and points and prove that history, but you're not what you're saying is not true. You're not changing the history, you're presenting it. People's perception of history is not changing history. That's their individual understanding of the history. Changing history is when you, let's talk about, like, the Holocaust. Let's say a historian writes exactly what happened. People were put to death at Auschwitz and all the horrible camps. I'm not going to get into too much detail. We're just going to rush through this. But let's say later on, a historian changes it to, no, the camps were actually a peaceful place where unfortunately everyone who died in those camps just died because of famine. It wasn't because of any gassing or anything. That's called revisionism. That's changing history. Now, if we just go about with the first person who just presents history as it happened, everyone who's going to hear that story is going to take away something different. But that's not changing history. That's not an alteration. The history was just presented. Perception of history is its own thing entirely. It's not directly connected to what history is. So what you're arguing is the perception of history. And that's completely disconnected from whether history in and of itself is changed or altered. That is the big dragon.
Grace Velga.
Thou speakest the name of a creature that but awaiteth the release of oblivion. Leave me.
By the 12. Mine ears hear the tongue of dragons, yet the meaning rings clear within my mind. How can that be?
Racevelga, do you not remember me? 'Twas I whom you found in Dravania. I who glimpsed the truth. The truth about your past. About Shiva.
Do not speak her name, mortal.
But speak it I must. I have summoned Shiva's soul from the beyond and offered myself as her vessel. She has made her heart known to me.
Foolish girl, thinkest thou my beloved spirit hath descended from the heavens? That the secrets of her heart are thine to know.
I have surrendered mine to her. Do you not see, my love? I am Shiva reborn.
Okay. What? Gullible fool, the light but illuminated the past for thee. I did not grant thee omniscience. The spirit thou hast summoned belongeth not to Shiva. 'Tis but a shade conjured by thine own fancy. In an age long past, mine own kin were guilty of like folly. Beguiled by the Dark One's lies, they attempted to resurrect a king amongst worms. Yet the divinity they called forth merely borrowed the semblance of my fallen brood brother. Such gods are not summoned, but created. Phantoms spun from the threads of misplaced faith.
Then the spirit that answered me.
Was but thy dream of Shiva. Thy soul hath been corrupted by a deity of thine own making, child. Talk about flipping her wordle upside down. She's believed a pretty apparent lie for a while now.
Be that as it may, Lord Hraesvelgr, Izel's desire to heal the rift between man and dragon is real, and it has borne us this far. We would spare both our kind and yours the ravages of this senseless war. Pray join your voice to ours in a call for peace and forgiveness.
The tale of thy kind is one of avarice, treachery, and death, and thou wouldst speak to me of peace. Hark thee, mortal, to the naked truth. Then tell me thou deservest forgiveness. What kind of conversation is the chat having right now? Jesus Christ. 1200 years ago, my beloved Shiva's sacrifice served to bring an end to the war, twixt man and dragon, paving the way for an age of peace and cooperation. Two centuries of harmony were to follow, during which time the Elizin learned much about us.
not least that the eyes of a great worm are the wellspring of his strength. "'Twas out of the selfish desire to possess this strength that King Thordan then conspired to undo all that our peoples had achieved together. With the aid of his leal knights, and the most noble of Elzen lured my brood sister Ratataskir into an ambush, and took from her that which he craved. Fain would I strike the image from my mind, yet still the scene doth linger, of my brood sister's tattered corpse, defiled by her Elizan allies. They had torn out her eyes, and feasted upon them in a manner of wild beasts. Yet that was not all. For from their bloody banquet the fiends had gained strength beyond that of mortal men. Even now I labor to comprehend the enormity of their betrayal. Again though, these are all people who are all dead. The betrayal already happened. Nidhogg was the first to learn of the atrocity, and he took to the skies, hungry for vengeance. But though he slew Thordan and some few of his knights, their fellow butchers knew only too well where to aim their spears, and would now practice savagery. They set about my brood brother, sending him flailing from the field. Such is the truth the Holy See would keep hidden. Such was the beginning of the Dragon Song War. 'Tis a song my kind shall ne'er forget, and should 10,000 years pass, and Ishgard crumble into dust.
Your tale bears scant resemblance to the one I was taught. How convenient that it should absolve your kind of all responsibility. But tell me, Dragon, why should I believe your version of events?
He's got a point. Okay. What thou choosest to believe is immaterial. The betrayal that yet haunts mine every waking moment is no less than the truth to my kind. Well, the problem is, especially with events like this, the problem with determining the truth, especially when we're talking about history. Now, some would say, oh, well, this dragon was there, you should be able to trust him. But at the same time, it's a biased perspective. History is usually told by the victor, but there's no victor in this case. Nobody won. So both sides have continued to teach their side of their history. And unfortunately, they're not going to tell the absolute truth, especially to those they deem the enemy. Like, this dragon, let's say he is telling the absolute truth. Estinian's not going to believe it no matter what. He's been taught otherwise. And he also has no reason to... There's no proof. There's no definitive evidence to prove what Hraesvelgr is saying. So unfortunately, it's just going to end up going in a circle. And same with the other way around. I mean, Estinian can't prove that his versions of events that he's been taught are any more real than what the dragon remembers having happened. So in a way, he actually is correct. What you choose to believe is immaterial, because at the end of the day, both sides are not going to change their minds. Especially since both are completely indoctrinated into their belief on what happened, and it doesn't matter now. I still think the dragons are definitively in the wrong, though. They're not in the as much as that story was tragic, and if it is true, it's unfortunate. But none of the people alive then are alive now. Like, all the Elizin that were alive then are dead. So they're taking their vengeance out on people who don't know anything but what they've been taught by their elders. So it's just going to end up being an endless cycle until one side dies or they both die. So I guess at the end of it, to summarize my point, it's kind of a pointless conversation. I mean, at the end of the day, one side can't prove their take is correct or the other. So it's just going to be a continued conflict unless one side doesn't care what happened anymore in the past, and it just comes down to, we want peace now. And doubt that's gonna happen. Daggett Burmese, welcome to the stream. Count his eyes. Yeah, he's only got one. I did notice that. I figured I figured that he also lost his. Wait, now I think about it. Okay, no, I think what I was just thinking is wrong. I was about to say maybe he's Nidhogg and Hraesvelgr are one in the same dragon, but now I'm thinking maybe it's actually more that the eye that Estinian has acquired is his eye, and Nidhogg has both of his. Because Nidhogg, from what I picked up what the dragon has said, is actually a primal, because the real Nidhogg died. Again, not sure about that. I'm trying my best to piece together what has been said correctly, but I may have misinterpreted a couple things. Neftis, welcome to the stream. Let's see what happens. Yeah. And Nidhogg meaneth for Thordan's people to suffer for this sin to the end of days. That which thou imaginest a war of extinction is but a punishment, a siege of the spirit. Hast thou not seen those who tire from the torment? Those who abandon their own and side with dragonkind?
Ishgard's so-called heretics.
Know that all the traitor's progeny bear a trace of Ratatoskir's essence, but a single sip of our blood is enough to awaken it. Okay. Damn.
Then the seed lies within us.
Yeah, I just got that. So they're all related to dragonkind, loosely. Because the Elizin of old drank Ratatoskir's blood. So the potency and ability to become like Dravanians is within all Ishgardians. Holy fuck. The irony! Damn! Well, not become full dragons, but become that mutant kind. Okay, so to the dragons, this isn't even a war. This is more or less just let's wipe out everybody who's fighting back, but everyone else who chooses to join our cause will be made into one of us. It's not even a war to them. Holy shit. Well, it's not, well, it is a war, but it's not a, it's not extinction v extinction. It's more one-sided is just trying to wipe out. Well, they're both, it's kind of weird. Okay, so to the dragons, it's about punishing. This is like, for them, this is like a slap on the ass against the Ishgard, and they won't stop until all those they deem continually owning guilt, which are those who continue to fight them. You know what, I think I'm gonna word this terribly, so. 'Tis for this reason that those who abandon their loyalties are rewarded with a drink, and thus they are transformed to join the ranks of Nidhogg's ever-growing army as newborn dragons. One by one, through death or defection, my brood brother shall account for all the betrayer's children.
Ye gods, I have borne witness to such a transformation. Looked on as a heretic assumed the shape of a dragon. I imagined it some manner of Drovanian enchantment.
Nope.
But if any Ishgardian, regardless of allegiance, has such potential within them, 12 forgive us. To think of all the dragons we've slain.
There will always be some, of course, who choose to fight until the bitter end, like the Dragoon. But struggle as thou might, thy youthful vigor will be spent ere thou reachest 210, and Nidhogg shall remain to torment thine offspring.
Oft have I wondered why Nidhogg did not simply raze Ishgard to the ground. Now I have my answer. He has no intention of winning the Dragonsong War, for it is no war at all, but vengeance, an eternal requiem sung for his murdered sister.
Yep. Damn. Have I praised the writing in this show? I think I have a couple times. I say show. Have I praised the writing in this game? Jesus Christ. Hot fuck. Yeah, I gotta do it again. Jesus. The twists! And these aren't even lazy, shitty ones like Shyamalan does these days. This is fucking good shit. Damn! Fuck! Whew! I love it, though. I love it. Love the writing. So good. It's fucked up, though. It's very fucked up. Oh, God. Thou hast the right of it, Dragonslayer. Comprehendest thou now the futility of thy quest?
I have not come this far only to admit defeat. We can still return the eye to Nidhogg and beg forgiveness for our ancestors' crimes. Mayhap our words will sway him.
Again, are they talking to Nidhogg, though? I'm going to go back to that point. So, now that I think about it. If Nidhogg is a separate dragon, why is Hrausvelgr missing an eye? Unless he removed one and gave it to Nidhogg. That might also be a thing. Just so Nidhogg would be at full power. Because their power comes from their eyes, and if you only have one, I assume your strength and ability is cut in half. That's the only other explanation I'm thinking is that. But I'm gonna go with we're actually talking to Nidhogg and Hrausvelgr are one and the same. I think that might be what's going on here. Or I could be totally wrong. I don't know. I have not been able to predict jack shit in this. Stubborn child, thou thinkest in mortal terms. Our perception of time is too broad for thee to grasp. Tis a simple matter for thee to offer thine apologies. Thou didst not perpetrate the crime. Despite thy visions, the deeds of history seem distant to thee. For a worm such as Nidhogg, however, the history is yet part of his present, as fresh as the blood that did gush from Ratatoskia's wounds. How could he not be driven mad? Tis only by the calming embrace of Shiva's soul that mine own fury hath not consumed me. But let us speak no more of what is done. My faith in your kind is spent, and I would be alone. Well, we achieved nothing. Damn. Why are you guys having this conversation? Why? Like why? Like I'm gonna time you both out. Stop it. Like what the fuck is it? Why? Why? Why am I reading this conversation? Yeah, but you could have left it at that. You could have ignored it. I ignored it. I did not engage in that question. I'm not getting involved in this guy. Stop! 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 No more! Why? 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 No! I'm gonna time you both out. Stop! Jesus. This is not a debate that should be had. Fucking hell. I'm gonna have a hard time explaining the chat when I make the videos here. When I edit these streams down to the videos, they're gonna be eventually when I make the episodes of the edited and cut down streams. I'm gonna have to just cut. I'm just gonna have to put a black bar in front of the chat because y'all had a not only a completely unrelated conversation. That's fine, but why? Just why? Just why? Just fucking why? Hraelsvilger was every bit as awe-inspiring as I imagined. His voice fairly dripped with power, the will behind his words so undeniable that it transcended my ignorance of the dragon's tongue. 'Tis but a pity that I misliked what he said. So far did we travel, even onto the very heavens themselves, only to be dismissed like unruly children. And far from mitigating this humiliation, the hidden truths we have learned serve only to prove that our grand mission of peace was destined to fail from the first. Nothing will deter Nidhogg from his course. Yep, we went all this way to achieve nothing.
Well, what do you propose we do now? I, for one, am intent on continuing to the east.
What is there to be found in the east?
Nidhogg's lair, the Eyrie, is said to lie in that direction. And the eye tells me he is near.
You cannot still mean to slay him.
What else do you expect to do? Honestly. Ice Queen, Lady Ice Hot, Isael, whatever you want me to call you. What other option? Yeah, it's pointless at this point, but he might as well get his revenge. Might as well. If it's all pointless anyway.
You cannot still mean to stop me. I have been true to my word, and aided you in this fool's errand with Hraesvelgr.
And he's right, it was a fool's errand.
But your efforts at parley have come to naught, Lady Iceheart. I would see Ishgard saved, and for that, Nidhogg must die.
With the tale of our ancestors' vile betrayal yet ringing in your ears, you speak of continuing this war?
Yeah, but the dragons have already said they're not going to stop Isael. They don't care that it's the ancestors that did it. It doesn't matter to them. The punishment is on whoever's there now. It doesn't matter how many generations, doesn't matter how many thousands of years, how many hundreds of years. They don't care. So at the end of the day, why should we care? And also, fuck that concept. Like, oh, the ancestors did horrible shit. Okay. If the dragons aren't going to stop, so why should we? At this point, it's not even about what happened then. It's about simply trying to survive now. The history doesn't matter. And even then, if it did, it doesn't matter to the common generation of Ishgard, because they aren't their ancestors. They didn't perpetrate the crime. They're just suffering the punishment.
Nay, lady. I would but pierce its vengeful heart. When Nidhogg dies, this war shall die with him.
Optimistically.
A moment, Estinian. You yourself spoke of the Great Worm's strength.
Don't get me wrong, I do sympathize with the dragons. I'm just saying, though, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really matter. So fight till one side is dead. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, doesn't it? I mean, you don't really have a choice. There's no negotiating. They tried that. It completely fell through. The dragons aren't going to stop. And the Ishgardians can't stop or they're going to be murdered. Or turned into dragons. So those are the only two options. And for many of them, that's a fate worse than death. So it's just a war that's going to keep on going. No side is willing to make peace. Well, actually, one side was willing, and sort of. Realistically, Alphinaud was being kind of optimistic there. It was being overly optimistic, if you ask my opinion, that they could parlay. And I figured this was going to be, in some manner, a waste of time. But at least they were willing. The dragons aren't on any semblance of a level. So it's not that the thing is, it's not really that either side is pure evil or pure good. They both have shit elements. But at the end of the day, you're really kind of just left with what choice do you have left? It's either fight or die. Or sorry, it's either fight, die, or become a dragon. I would choose become a dragon personally, but for many who have been raised in a culture that hates dragons so purely, and believe them to be the ultimate monsters that plague their very existence, and believe it heresy to even consort with one, that might be a fate worse than death. So that leaves them with a choice of live or die. Most will probably go with live, or at least try to, and to do that, they have to kill the dragons. It's a shitty situation, but it's not like either side is choosing to kill the other. Was that really maybe the dragons? Even then, no, it's not even really the dragon, because at the end of the day, again, it pretty much just comes down to both sides are going to fight each other no matter what. There's just no there's no other ground. There's no middle ground for them to find purchase on.
Even behind the stout walls of Ishgard, with an army of knights manning the defenses, our victory would be hard won. Yet you propose to contend with the beast in his own lair.
Yeah, not wise.
In close combat, this will afford us an advantage. And if the tales are true, the Warrior of Light has bested many an invincible foe.
Primals, yeah.
But such
assuming
speculation is
Nidhogg
meaningless if
might
we
be
cannot
a
even
primal?
find the worm. Our first task must
Probably
be
not.
to seek out Nidhogg's lair.
I'm still not sure if I understood that correctly.
The story of this nation grows bloodier by the moment. Must death always be answered with more of the same?
I mean, unfortunately, yes, in this case. In reality, no. I mean, really it just comes down to both sides need to choose to stop fighting. But it's not that simple. I mean, that's the most simplistic way to put it, but it also depends on the context of the fight, like whether it's over resources, whether it's over survival, one side wants to kill the other. Unfortunately, there will always be reasons for... As long as there are two people on the planet, and I believe this term to be true, one will want to kill the other. The conflict and fighting over things is just not... It's not just in humans' nature, it's in creatures' natures. We're an ever-conflicting... Again, it's not just humans, it's pretty much everything. Everything that lives conflicts with another thing in nature. There will always be the butting of the heads. No matter what. In humans, in particular, our intelligence has kind of made our ways of butting heads more and more overt and over the top as the centuries have progressed. But this is a long argued philosophy that I'm not going to get into because I'm playing a video game right now. And that, and I pretty much said my piece about this particular situation, so I won't get into the wider philosophy of real life conflict. And will it ever truly end? Because I don't think I'm qualified. No, if one is male and the other is female, they'll especially want to kill each other. It's just a matter of how.
Such is the way of things, I fear. I shall consider it a miracle if mine armor is not stained crimson ere this conflict is ended.
Alright, so I guess we gotta go fight Nidhogg.
Blinded by my own lies. Everything I believed. Everything I thought I was. Gone. All gone.
Yeah, not only did we fail to negotiate parlay, but I think we just destroyed Isael's entire vision of the world. So, I gotta commend the writing in this, though, like, hot damn.
Leave her. Your words will not reach her now. And we have not the time to wait for her to gather up the pieces of her shattered faith.
I mean, unfortunately, I think he's right. Yeah. I can't imagine what that's like, though, having your whole entire worldview just shattered instantly. Not that I want to know what that's like, I'm sure it sucks. Okay. So, what next? The Worm's Lair. Defeat enemies as you search for the Eyrie. And yeah, we gotta go kill us a dragon. It's literally the only course of action we're left with. But yeah, I do want to stress, though, I don't think the Ishgardians are in the right. their ancestors did commit a horrible act of betrayal, for sure. But the problem is, I'm someone who does not believe that the sins of the father are to be invoked upon the son. I don't believe that at all. So, I don't agree that the dragons are fighting for a good cause right now either. Both sides are fighting essentially for vengeance, so... And both sides are doing horrendous things in the fight for that vengeance, so... In the end, both sides are doing terrible things for, when you get down to the basis of it, is pretty petty reasons. Personal reasons, valid reasons, I would say yes, but when you get to like the overarching view, like the omniscient point of view, I guess you could say, it's petty in the long run, and they're only serving to further embellish their hatreds and their spites and their, well, and in their continued war with one another. But damn, it's got some good writing. Alright. Dragons! Alright. Where to next? Ben Q, welcome to the stream. And then kill each other. I'm not sure what that follows up, but welcome to the stream. How you doing? Ah, the bagpipes. Man, things went philosophical this stream already. I try to avoid that too much because I don't like to get in like the heavy conversations. Happens from time to time, though. Moon-eyed Moogle. I'm into philosophy though. Yeah, but the thing is that it always invites people like accusing you of like believing a certain thing, like if you misword yourself. So that's why like if I'm like recording a video and I can write a script for it, I don't mind having a conversation for that. I've experienced too many times though where I've misworded something in like my trying to explain like my point of view on like a certain philosophical angle, and then people then accuse you of like saying they get on your ass about like just the people don't take into account when like when you're trying to say something that's just off the top of your head, because that's when you misword things like crazy. And as it is, when I am thinking through my words, I still end up like mixing my words up and saying the wrong thing. So I've found too many times that if I don't like prepare myself, I often say something that people then go, "Aha! You said this, therefore you believe this." It's like, well, no, I was actually just You can't deny it now. You said it right there. I was like, yes, but it was on a stream and I didn't really have time to prepare my thoughts and wording properly. It's like, yes, but it's too late. We've determined you believe this so solely off of this one statement. I hate that, but it happens on the internet all the time, so that's why I try to avoid it, just to avoid those kind of bullshit accusations.
Is that it?
It's kind of smoky.
Aye, that would be the Eyrie. I feel Nidhogg's presence through the eye, his caustic hatred gnawing at my soul.
Wait, did he say that? Did somebody clip him? But yeah, that is a very good example. Like some people take those clips and take them comedically, but then you have some people who take like malicious clips and like they intentionally cut out the context and like try and spread a belief. Like happens all the time on the internet, especially Twitter. People love to do that, especially if somebody they even mildly dislike, it turns into full-blown hatred for some reason. So I try to provide as little material and fuel for those types.
'Twould seem the death of his consort has put him on guard. Mark how he wards his lair with tempestuous winds.
A similar barrier once barred our entrance to the Primal Garuda's domain, until we discovered the means by which it could be penetrated.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me for that.
Mayhap it is time we called upon Master Garland. It will be just like the good old days, no?
Slay to lands. A force of sufficient power to break through a primal's defenses might conceivably grant us access to the Eyrie. And I can offer no better solution. Pray consult this engineer friend of yours. Very well. On the condition that you swear not to lure Nidhogg from his lair in our absence. And steal all the glory for myself, you mean? Nay, I am not so selfish as that. Contact me by Link Pro when the preparations are complete, and we shall set forth from Ishgard together. I suggest we rendezvous back at I can't say the name. Renet's Forum. Shroud. Yeah. I suggest we rendezvous back at Saint Rianette's Forum. Forum Shroud. From what I gleaned from a Holy Sea's decidedly ambitious airship project, said we'll still be in Ishgard. Alright. Let's go pick Sid up and take out this motherfucker dragon. And I will quickly handle these Tullahans.
Thank you. Now that the Tullahans are out of the way, it's only a matter of time before my replacement gets here. I'm about to pass out from hunger, so I think I'll go ahead. What could go wrong, Kupo?
I suppose so. So wait, the Moogles have sentries? Alright, so we need to speak to Ray. And we'll port out. Port out and meet up with good old Sid. Yeah, I still need I don't know when it'll happen. I'm sure the MSQ will eventually lead me there, but the northern half of Cloud Top, I gotta get there so I can get all the ether right there. Ether thingy-majiggers there and pick those up. Alright. Oh yeah, sorry, can't ride vehicles in towns. But yeah, Murderskitten is referencing. I did a WoW stream how many months ago? I don't even remember now. It was a while ago now. I was hopping into the end of BFA or the beginning of Shadowlands just to see some of the content. And if I recall correctly, I was making a Worgen, and what I had on the screen at that time, I don't think it was the final version of the character, was all white. So I said, oh, what should I name the character? And yeah, everybody in the chat said that. Like, everybody in the chat everyone in the chat said at least like once, I would say. Everyone was active at that point. And I was like, y'all are the worst. But yeah, that would have been bad if that was clipped and taken out of context. Then again, I didn't say it, so I think 4 months. Okay, it was 4 months ago. So yeah, almost 2 months short of half a year ago. Closer to half a year than not. So yeah, a while ago. But yeah, it was funny, but that could have gotten me in trouble if I had said just the wrong thing. When last you saw Master Garland, he was advising the Ishgardians on their ailing airship, correct? In that case, we might still be at Camp Cloudtop. Failing that, we could try the airship landing, or mayhap even the Skysteel manufactory. But let us not waste time searching aimlessly. Someone in the city is sure to know where to find him. The question is, who? Sir Emmerich would seem the obvious choice, but there is no guaranteeing he will be able to grant us an audience at such short notice. Ah, I have it. Count Edmont's youngest son prides himself on knowing all the Holy See's juiciest rumors. Let us return to the manor and see if Lord Amenelaine is about. Oh, we gotta go talk to that prick. Okay, moving on. Just cause gonna remove that. Yeah, just gonna move past that. Please, can we just avoid that? Let's not go down that route, please. And thank you. I don't know what it is. Everybody always brings up like the controversial shit on my streams. I don't know why. Do I just have that face? It's just like, hey, let's talk about this stuff that gets people canceled on the drop of a hat these days. Man. And these streams have been going pretty smoothly. What the fuck happened? That's visual.
A new recruit has blessed our company.
Scryle, thank you for subscribing, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am sweating like crazy. Alright, I'm in a lane. The hero returns. How goes the fight, old boy? Well, I trust. In search of a Sid Garland, you say? Then say no more. The taverns are full of talk, and the name of said silver-haired genius has cropped up more often than most. I hear he has been tasked with getting that monstrous airship the Holy See commissioned to actually fly. 'Twould seem the project has been plagued with mishaps from the first. In any case, Garland Ironworks employees are known to frequent the airship landing, and I'll wager their master does too. I just discovered your channel. Keep enjoying the game. Oh, awesome, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the support.
A new recruit has blessed our company.
Awesome. Thank you for subscribing, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. The airship landing. Yes, I thought as much. Come, Shroud, we must find Sid and trouble him for his expert opinion. I can tell you this right now, I'm gonna have a field day with editing these episodes when I finally get around to getting the footage together and starting to upload them. Alright. Alright, so you say the airship landing. Right over there, and I am a lazy son of a bitch, so I am going to port over. Why run when you can teleport? Ha ha ha! Yeah, there's Sid. Hey, Biggs and Wedge! Oops, let me repose myself there. Shroud, Alphino, how fare you both? Not terribly well, judging by your faces. Greetings, Master Garland. I'm sure it will come as little surprise when I tell you we have need of a favor. Nods in agreement, alright. Another wind barrier? And you say it was conjured by Nidhogg? The Enterprise could certainly take you where you need to go, but she would not fare well against dragons. She's agile for a ship her size, but not that agile. The Javanians would fly rings around her. And if they took it into their heads to incinerate the rigging, there would be precious little we could do to avoid them. But there must be something we can do, some manner of weapon we can employ. Estinian stands vigil at the edge of the churning mists, but we do not know how much longer. Alright, alright, I didn't say it was impossible. I said it was impossible for the Enterprise. We need a smaller boat. Smaller? Biggs, wait, Biggs, Wedge? It's time we gave the new toy of yours a proper field test. It's probably best if I let the lad show you. Come on, the manufactory is not far. Alright. Nefty says Sid is a bit a convenient plot device. Oh. Yes, he is, but one we're willing to work with. All right, now head down to the Foundation. New friends and old friends. Skysteel Manufactory. All right. We will hop on over there. Ah. Pop my back. Our little project's just inside. Oh, you're gonna like this one. I love that armor so much. I heard...
Feast your eyes upon our latest and greatest feat of engineering. We call it a mana cutter.
A mana cutter. And that's... Okay, so that's Wedge's new voice. I don't know if it's the new one, because... It sounds... I'd have to listen to it again, but it sounds pretty similar to the one I heard in A Realm Reborn. Ooh. Oh, we saw those in the Heavensward trailer. I was actually wondering...
After you put down Gaius, Wedge and me struck out on our own for a bit, and started work on the successor to the tiny Bronco.
I like Big's new voice. But yeah, we saw those in the trailer. I completely ghosted on them till just now. Okay, so Biggs and Wedge invented those.
Impressive little thing, isn't she? My talent for ship design has plainly rubbed off on them.
Actually, that voice sounds pretty similar to the old one. I mean, it's definitely a different person, but it sounds pretty similar. Well chosen recast for Sid. Sounds close enough that if you really didn't notice everyone else's new voices, you wouldn't be listening for them.
They've adapted the principles of corrupted crystal technology and constructed a mechanism which converts ether from its surroundings into elemental wind. Said wind is then harnessed by the specially engineered sails, providing the craft with propulsion and lift. All in all, a most elegant solution.
I think they changed it to a different VA studio, a UK one, so recasted everyone. Yeah, that's what I was told in when I first started playing through Heavensward, so that seems to follow.
I'm actually a little upset that I didn't think of it myself.
The design does, however, come with one small flaw.
One small flaw. Is it fitting or is it not that the Lalafell said that?
The energy conversion ratio is bloody awful. To generate enough power to get you off the ground, you need to be in an area awash with predominantly wind-aspected ether.
In other words, there are a few places you can fly, lots of places you can't.
The new Ishgardian airship hasn't left the boys much time for tinkering, meaning it may be a while before this particular project takes off. If you'll forgive the pun.
I'll forgive it for now. Ah, Tataru.
Tataru, what's happened?
I've been looking all over for you. There's been word from Aldar. It's about Her Grace, the Sultana.
Goddamn plot whiplash. Do we have time for a detour? I mean, Ishgard's in trouble.
Required elsewhere. Leave the mana cutter with us. We'll see that she's airworthy and suitably equipped to slice through those winds.
Do we have time though? I mean, Estinian is gonna lose his patience.
You, meanwhile, should concentrate on providing Rauban and the Sultana whatever help they need.
And yeah, I guess, but damn, fuck. There's too many epic plots going on at the same time! Lalafell. Oh my god. Please don't use that term. Ugh. General Roban says that they have uncovered the Sultana's whereabouts, and he wants you, by which I mean both of you, to go to the Waking Sands right away and help with the investigation. Come, Shroud. Pressing though Ishgard's plight may be, our presence here will not serve to hasten the Mana Cutter's completion. Let us return to the troubled lands of Thanaland and lend what aid we may. Tataru, have our friends at the congregation send a message to Estinian. Tell him we have identified a solution to our problem, but that it will take some time to prepare. As you wish, Master Alphino. To the Waking Sands, Warrior of Light. 'Tis time Uldar was delivered from this darkness. Please tell me we get to bisect Lolorito. Well, I suppose since he's technically saved the Sultana, please tell me we get to punch him really hard. Right, I have an item for that, don't I? Yep, there it is. Puff Magoots. Real quick, I have to do something real quick. Hold on. Ah, crap, cinematic. I'll handle it in a second. Yeah, looking good, man. Good to see him back at full blast. No problem, Roban. You were looking good.
Not necessary, General. I trust your recuperation continues apace.
I cannot complain. Thanks to Higiri and her ministrations, I've regained much of the strength I lost during my imprisonment.
Good. Good to hear, man. Now it's time to take back
made
Uldar.
progress in the search for her grace.
Aye, some good fortune at last. A few days past, Dulala informed us that a sizable shipment of alchemical supplies had been delivered to the palace.
With Papa Shan's assistance, I set out to ascertain the source and nature of the shipment. My inquiries led me to Frondale's frontistery. There, I learned that an order had been placed for a curious substance designed to sustain patients trapped in death-like slumber. An invention of the former head alchemist, apparently.
A death-like slumber? This cannot be a coincidence.
I wonder if they use pufferfish. Pufferfish. There's something about a pufferfish that can bring someone to, like, basically imitate death in every way, but they can still be resuscitated.
Claims, aye. Her grace is likely somewhere within the palace, abed but alive.
Before making any attempt to extricate the Sultana, however, it seemed prudent to learn what manner of substance was used to induce her torpor. To that end, I made inquiries as to the whereabouts of the one most like to have administered it. The lady in waiting, Meriel. We sent for you as soon as we learned of her location. All that remains is to apprehend the woman.
Aye. I almost completely forgot about her. Yeah, we gotta bring her in.
Find our cat's paw in the Silver Bazaar. But we must tread carefully. The market is not the bustling place it once was, and someone is sure to mark our coming. Should they inform the monetarists, we'll have a fight on our hands. We must be prepared for the worst, and being short an arm, I thought it wise to take another in its stead. What say you, Warrior of Light? Will you lend me yours?
I'll lend you both of them. Not actually. You can't take my arms. They're kind of attached, but...
stands in our way. Come, my friend. For Nanamo, and for Uldar!
Aye. And for vengeance. It is good to see Robon back at, like, full strength, though. Well, yeah, as full strength as you can be with an arm lopped off. Alright, so let me real quick do that thing. Hey, Psycho Dad, welcome to the stream. Sorry, I'm just handling something real quick. Alright, sorry about that. Taking my arms, taking my legs, taking my soul, left me with life in hell. Yeah. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, back on track, back on track. That's from One by Metallica. Oh, okay, I didn't click in my brain. But it is. Our target is Miriel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting, a woman of Midland heritage. I am told the two of you have met. Yes. Our sources indicate that she left the palace shortly after the incident, and quietly rejoined the dwindling population of the Silver Bazaar. I suggest we begin by questioning the market's residents and confirm that Muriel is still in hiding there. Alright. So now I go to the Silver Bazaar. Oh, we're literally like right across the way from that. Alright. Alright. Charlie Hugh! Wait, is that I just realized, is that Lolorito? No, it's just a Lalafell. Okay. Ah, flying motorcycle. Indeed, it's fantastic. What's this guy look like? Oh, it's a kid. Marielle? Aye, she's here. Left the city for good, she says. Barely leaves her house, though. It's the one closest to the market entrance. Oh wow, we already got our information. Wait, why do I gotta question two more people? We just literally got her. We got her. Let's go get her. Oh look, it's the delivery Moogle. Greetings, Shroud. What can I do for the Silver Bazaar's favorite adventurer? Looking for Miriel, you say? If you're hoping to lure her back to Ul'dah, you may as well give up now. The girl's done with the city life. So I gather. Do I know of any returning residents? Gods, don't tell me they're starting to come back. My masters will not be pleased to hear of this. Oh. Hey, well, I guess 1 out of the 3 didn't know anything about the situation. Search for Miriel. Wasn't her house supposed to be this one? Apparently not. Nope. It's one of them. There's only 3 houses. I could also be wrong in searching outside. Oh, fuck, I already searched this. Ah, well. Knock, knock.
You are Meriel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting?
I know no one of that name. Pray excuse me. General Alden!
Time to pay the piper.
We will
Traitor.
have the truth from you, girl.
Mayhap it would be better coming from me.
Okay, his voice changed drastically. Damn.
Lonorito, you'd best talk fast.
As you know, Teleji Adeleji's Cartano reclamation bill was no more than a facade. A means to get his grubby little hands on that Allagan monstrosity Omega. When he learned of Nanamo's intention to abdicate, however, he was forced to amend his plans. Suddenly, assassination seemed the most promising way to further his ambitions. I am told Teleji had discovered a maid in whose veins ran the blood of House Thorn. A new, more pliable puppet to sit the throne. 'Twould have caused an uproar, of course, but few could have contested her claim.
Uh-huh. Now I'm very confused.
'Twas plain that Teleji's wild machinations had outgrown our ability to control them. So I decided to usurp his scheme and left the fool to seal his own demise.
And what of Nanamo?
Oh, I have no desire to harm her grace. 'Twould profit me little to destabilize our government. Thus did I employ young Meriel here to administer a potent sleeping potion in place of a poison. You should know, General, that your dear friend Ilberd was fully aware of my plan. I had him lie about the assassination as a means to prime your rage against Teleji. We weren't entirely sure how you would react, but things went rather better than expected.
Okay, well, okay, that doesn't make any sense, though, because Roban killed Teleji out of Teleji's own words. He sliced the fucker in half, and then fought Ilberd after trying to kill you. And then after that, Ilberd followed. Okay, so that doesn't follow. That doesn't track. Because he would have, to coax his rage to kill Teleji, Ilberd would have had to tell him that before he killed Teleji. Afterward, it would have made no sense. So either he's lying, or the writers it's a bit of a writing inconsistency. But yeah, that doesn't track because Ilberd told him that after he had already killed Teleji. Perhaps both, and it might be. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out as it goes along. Let's real quick. Gotta respond to this. There we go. That should be the last time that gets interrupted. There we go. Everything okay on mine? Oh yeah, that was alright.
Conniving little worm. You had your claws in the Crystal Braves before their first recruit had sworn to serve!
But of course, when a new game begins, 'tis only prudent to have a piece on the board. Ilberd was mine. Truth be told, a significant proportion of the Braves' initial endowment was also mine. With such large sums moving about, 'twas a rather trifling matter to disguise my own contribution.
I find it very surprising, though,
Ilberd. I secured his services with a promise to support his cause once my authority had been solidified. I swear, the man thinks of naught but prizing Alamigo from the grasp of the Empire. Unlike you, General, the poor fellow seems quite unable to forsake the land of his forefathers. Mayhap that's why he called you a traitor to your people and a disgrace to your homeland, amongst other things. What was it he always compared you to? Oh, yes, an overgrown lapdog begging for scraps at the Sultana's table. Oh, how we laughed.
Lolorito, the last time Roban was being harassed this much and teased and coaxed, it was by Teleji. And Teleji, you'll notice, has been bisected. Yeah. So you may not want to push the dagger in more, my friend. Hey, Nathan.
Alas, Ilberd's entertaining little outbursts eventually gave way to wearisome tirades, and the zealous brute became rather unruly. I had no wish to see you executed, you understand, but he would not take no for an answer. Rest assured, his employment with me has long since ended.
Uh-huh, I'm sure.
Which brings us neatly to the present. What say you, General? Both you and the Sultana are alive. We have one corpse and one fugitive. And preparations have been made to restore your good name. Shall we cry quits and start again with a blank ledger?
Do you honestly think that's gonna happen?
The hells we will! Do you honestly expect me to forgive and forget? After all you've done? You're guilty of high treason!
Stay your blade, Master Alden. You yourself are not innocent. Or have you forgotten your own crime in executing Teleji Adeleji without trial?
Are they seriously going to try and pull this card?
Though you acted out of loyalty to the Sultana, such deeds are in violation of both the word and spirit of the law.
A ballless bull was only... And yeah, exactly.
If you would, Lord Lolorito?
Oh, the antidote. I'm assuming.
This potion will wake the Sultana from her slumber. Consider it a gesture of conciliation. You will find her grace resting comfortably within her private chambers. Should you doubt my word, I shall willingly accompany you to the palace as your hostage.
It seems a little too convenient. Like, they're wrapping things up too quick. Yeah, something's gonna happen. We still don't know definitively that the Sultana is alive, so this very well may be a double cross.
I like not your motives, Lolorito. But you saved the Sultana's life, and for that, you have my gratitude.
Careful, Raban. You're trusting too much. I just realized Raban was surrounded by Lalafels. But where are all the Scions now, though? Are they all dead? Did they all die for nothing?
Hereby reinstated as General of the Immortal Flames. The citizens of Ul'dah shall once more be united under Nanamo Ul'Namo, and together we shall usher in a new age of prosperity.
But if she wakes up, isn't she still gonna want to abdicate the throne? Like, why wouldn't she now? And the assassination attempt for me would just be one last confirmation I need that the government needs an upheaval. I would still interrogate her for any information that wasn't said. What? You're not... okay. Okay. All of that happened wickedly fast. What the fuck? What do I believe? I don't know anymore. I still would have interrogated her separately and pushed for any information that was conveniently left out by Lolorito. By the 12, I feared Lord Lolorito's arrival would herald another bloodbath. Little did I suspect that he of all people would gift us the means to rouse the Sultana. Man. Roban's in a precarious position, so he's playing it safe and not doing anything to warrant added ire or attention. And makes sense. Still. Shall we also make our way to Ul'dah? I would imagine Bartholomew has been instructed to admit us. And yeah, I would like to confirm that the Sultana is actually fucking alive. And if she is, now we gotta figure out where the hell the Scions are. I hope the Christ are dead. Hey, I almost said that wrong. Damn. I hope the Christ are alive. Because I thought they were dead. That was what my thought was going, but for some reason my brain was like, hey, let's combine the sentences, because this makes sense. Alright. Royal Promenade, actually. Oh. Chamber of Rules, sorry. Royal Promenade. Alright, time to confirm the Sultanas. Oh, I'm nervous. Last time we were here, shit went down. Flame General Roban mentioned you might be coming. Please, this way, if you will. Alright. Alright. Hey, she's breathing. She is small. Indeed. The Lalafels are very tiny. Hey Josh, welcome to the stream. What's up? Good afternoon, bro. Yeah. Ooh. The work? Is she alive? Or back? Oh god. There is a lot she's missed out on. Oh, yes! Fuck. Oh, now we just need to get the Scions back. Please tell me they're alive. Don't actually tell me. That's rhetorical. Little lady, you have caused me emotional distress, along with the loss of my the Scions. That affected me for a good while. It still kind of does a little bit. Ha! Good to see her alive. Kind of, I don't.
It's time to wake up, Your Grace. Another day begins in Thanalan, and the sun blazes bright upon the sands.
She has no idea what's happened.
Her Grace is awoken. The palace physician assures me she's none the worse for her slumber.
Thank God.
I believe Her Grace will soon resume her plans to place the government of Uldar into the hands of its citizens. Whatever path she chooses to take, I shall walk it with her. And we shall tread slowly, lest the nation be unsettled in our wake.
Her Grace's compassion is a shining beacon to us all. What our city truly thrives upon is competition. 'Tis in the struggle against our rivals that opportunities are seized and fortunes made. And with the Empire on the offensive once more, now would hardly seem the time to turn our system of government upon its head.
I mean, I kind of agree, which I hate to say.
Are you privy to new intelligence, my lord?
I would hardly call it new. Remind me, what was the name of that enormous Imperial warship which met its end in Mordona? Oh, wait, I have it. The Agrias. Yes, well, 'twould appear that the Garleans have been hard at work on another such vessel.
How close are they to completing this ship? Is it operational?
Ah, fuck.
Its maiden flight was a success, I hear. I should imagine Emperor Varys is eager to see how it performs in battle.
Yeah.
My lords and lady, I move that it is time to repair the damage caused by Teleji Adeleji and prepare our great nation to repel the Empire once more.
Convenient choice to reveal that information. He
the
plays the
Sultana has
game
awoken.
well.
The Syndicate yet needs to put its house in order, but 'twould seem the worst of the confusion has passed. Uldar has taken control of its future, and I must do the same.
Yeah, by the way, the Crystal Braves, we should probably take some time and eliminate the rest of them. Find Ilberd, you know, kill him.
I have decided to disband the Crystal Braves.
They disbanded themselves. They only carry that. They can only continue to carry that title because you started it. But that's it. They're Crystal Braves in their declaration only.
Among the recruits, there were those who supported our Order's goals and convictions with all sincerity. 'Tis my hope that these loyal men and women will choose to remain our allies in the battles to come. As for those who sided with the traitor, Ilberd, they shall be hunted down and held to account for their crimes. It is my earnest hope that they will surrender themselves peaceably when the time comes, though I think it unlikely. Ah, my all-conquering Crystal Braves. The model army meant to pave the way for a single unified Grand Company of Eorzea. That so high an ideal should be brought so low.
And not to throw, you know, a bit of a wrench in your pity party here, but it was your fault. And you know, if you had just asked, I might have warned you how dumb it is to collect a bunch of cell swords together and try and unify them under the cause of unifying and protecting Eorzea. Right. There's this thing called a vetting process, and we didn't exactly kind of do that. We kind of just asked anybody who was willing if they would join. Sure. And we also kind of took money from a bunch of individual governments and didn't really vet that carefully, so we also didn't know where, you know, the money to pay these people was coming from. We also didn't know, you know, there was a lot of naivete, kind of mistakes in life. Yeah, you know, you could have just, you know, thought it out a little bit more. Just saying. Yeah, just saying.
I need not tell you how deeply the betrayal stung me. Yet I see now that it was mine own naivety and pride which allowed the Braves to fall prey to corruption.
Good. Don't do it again. Let this be a painful yet important lesson that you hold for the rest of your life, Alphino, because it's through failure we learn. Unfortunately, this failure was rather detrimental. And I will be incredibly angry at Alphino if it's revealed in the future that any of the Scions died because of his mistake. Sorry, I'm still a tad bit
As
like
ever,
vengeful.
Your own shining example that I turn for inspiration. Like you, I mean to stand firm in the face of hardship and give mine all for the cause.
Hiring sellswords to ask and asking to defend a province. Ask Carthage how that helped against Rome. Well, actually, it's not. It's actually kind of worse because he hired a bunch of sellswords and retired veterans of other governments, meshed them together and not protecting one province. Technically, he was protecting three, and not even really three provinces, 3 countries. 3 countries is what he wanted them to spread out and defend and have overarching influence over. So from the get-go, there was a lot of naivete bringing down the thought process. So it was one of those things where I think Alphino as a character, I definitely see as improving as much as I'm gonna jokingly like jab at those dumb decisions he's made in the past. But he is a naive kid. He's a what, 16-year-old? He's a naive kid who thought himself an intellectual, thought he knew and understood everything, and thought that he'd experienced enough of life to make the correct decisions. When in reality, And as I mentioned before, the facade started to break when he was at that meeting demanding that the other 3 nations send defense forces to aid Ishgard against the Dravanians. That's when the facade of his... like, I have a handle over the whole situation no matter what, completely fell apart for me. And that's where his naivete really started to express itself. And then, especially after what happened with the Sultana and the Scions at the end of Rome Reborn, whew, damn, did he make a lot of bad decisions.
Let us resume the search for our missing comrades, that we might come together to shine the light of dawn across the realm once more.
Indeed.
The role of Crystal Brave Commander suited me ill, and I shall play it no longer. Henceforth, I shall be no more or less than Alphino, proud member of the Scions.
Good. Let's keep it that way. No need to overreach your responsibility. The truth is, Nanamo needs to stay in power. A republic isn't a bad idea, but Ul'dah is not ready for it. I mean, that is true. They seem to be... The culture of the city seems to be still pretty stuck in their ways. And, I mean, who would even be the elected officials of this republic? And other than Nanamo herself being turned right around and being made some executive member of the republic, perhaps even... in the case of them formulating a senate, making her a chancellor of sorts. Or making her another form of executive, the speaker, if you will. Some position similar to that. And who else are they going to trust to take the position? Lolorito? He would take advantage of that new governmental system. Also, when it comes to branching out the control, there's so much preparation and time and easing into such a system that would take long in itself, but they are engaged. Lolorito is right. They're engaged in war times. They're engaged in not just war times, but they also have a refugee crisis. So on top of having to handle both of those situations, completely upheaving the flawed governmental system that they have, but at least it is a government. When you upheave that and start a new one, instantly chaos will ensue. There will be destruction, there will be confusion. Things like that cannot happen again during... If you're going to upheave and reset your government, you need to do it... You need to do it at the right time. You need to preferably peace times. And you also have to have people in mind to take control of the government. Right now, the people who are in charge of the government is all the city's known to be their governing force. So when it came to electing officials, everybody would just vote for who they know at least have experience running the thing. So the same exact people who are in power now would probably be re-elected anyway. So it would end up achieving very little in its first incarnation. Not saying it won't work, just that they are not ready. And I agree, they're not. And I'm saying it wouldn't work in their current state. Because Lolorito was right. They're in wartime, and they have the refugee crisis. As it is, with those two things, any kind of government is crucial to try and organize things, to try and keep things in some kind of structure. You need, ideally, if you're going to redesign and re-envelop your whole nation into a new governmental system, you would do it during peace times. You would do it when your population is under control. You would also, I would hope, set up a consensus. You would start to spread the idea of it out to the civilian populace. Kind of pull your communities and figure out, like, give them time to think about the system, understand how it works, and even possibly think of new officials that they find would best represent them in a proper built senate. Without that time, without that slow transition, if you try and rush into anything, if you try and essentially do a revolution, there's going to be chaos, there's going to be destruction, and there's going to be casualties, and there's going to be quite a few. And that's if they do it during peace times and rush it. If they rush it, and they're doing it in times of strife, like Ul'dah is in right now, all it invites is just utter chaos. They may even end up destroying Ul'dah in the attempt. At the very least, they would weaken it to outside forces to attack, due to their lack of organization. Alright. Sorry, I kind of went on a rant there. Thought it was the end of that cinematic anyway. Alrighty. I blush to speak thus of mine inner turmoil. But the fact remains there is no man alive in whom I would rather confide. Were it not for your shining example, I might have emerged from beneath the pall of my despair. It's all good. Oh, whoops, I forgot to grab it from him. Hold on enough, you know, I got to grab the quest from you. Are we actually finally gonna get back to Estinian? Because he's probably standing there like... It's been 3 days. Where the hell are they? I'm into it, so it's fine. Okay. Still no word from Master Garland. I hope this mana cutter of theirs is nearing completion. You giddy. I'm assured that her grace will make a full recovery. Good. Can we have you on her private security force, please? Aye, and Ul'dah, too, shall flourish once more. General Roban and his colleagues have matters well in hand, I believe. Lady Yugiri, a question, if I may. I believe your people have been keeping a close watch on the Crystal Braves. Might you know how things stand at the Rising Stones? Ah, yes, of course. You will be pleased to know that the 3rd Unit Braves abandoned Revenant's Toll when they learned Captain Ilbert's defeat. The only blue uniforms to be seen there now are those worn by soldiers loyal to you, Master Alphino. There were any loyal to him? To me. I see. I'm grateful to hear that at least some of our members were true to their oaths. Yeah, but what were they doing all this time? Were they imprisoned? Were they protesting? Or were they going along with the rest of the Crystal Braves to avoid getting killed? I don't know. I would still properly disband them, and I would excise those members as well. Unless there was definitive proof that they were imprisoned, that they maintained their loyalty, and they didn't just conform to the new structure under Ilberd. If they did, then that means, yeah, it does show that they were at least loyal to Alphino in the background, but the thing is, it doesn't matter what you were in the background, it matters what you were able to actively do, and if they were too scared to act, then what happens if there's another such betrayal? Just for the structure of the Scions, I would still disband it. We return to Ishgard. I must go to the Rising Stones and thank these stalwarts for their service. It shall be my final act as the Crystal Brave Commander. Unfortunately, Yugiri is already in service to Doman Resistance. Ain't true. If the Doman Resistance ever achieves their goals, the first thing I would do if I was a Sultan is how much would it cost to have even just you on my security? I believe the downfall of the Scions in Ul'dah was naivete. Alfie being naive about the Crystal Braves, and even... Well, it's not just about the Crystal Braves. He was naive about everything. He seemed to not understand that whence the money flows defines the goals, and it defines the goals and the actions of the group. If you get wherever you get your money defines who you are. It doesn't matter what you say your goals are, what your beliefs are. Whoever pays your salary to speak enacts what you actually believe and do. And he seemed not to take that into account carefully enough. He also didn't vet people properly. You're right, at the core of it is naivete. But it doesn't change the fact that it wasn't just naivete about the Crystal Braves in themselves. It was naivete about, life. Alphino was too confident about it, despite the fact that he should have known that he knew very little about people than he thought. And he should have... And the thing is, I would say a part of it was not just naivete, but arrogance. Arrogance was in there as well. Because there's only so much naivete can push you forward. without arrogance also fueling you not to recognize your own naivete. Johnny Crucified? Oh, welcome, Johnny. Alfie was too optimistic. It's true. He was too optimistic, too naive, and a little too arrogant. So all of those kind of cultivated into him making all the wrong moves and not considering enough factors. And at the end of the day, Alfie's not a bad person. He's not a bad character, but it also doesn't change the fact that he made a lot of mistakes and other people paid the price for it. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate Alpha, no. I'm happy to see he's growing as a character. I'm essentially stating the facts, but... that's what a Sharlayan upbringing does to you. And I suppose. Arrogance is the downfall. Where are you in the story right now? We just found out the Sultana's alive. She just got awoken. And, Lolorito informed everybody that the Garleans are making another giant warship. We're also at a point where we're about to face off Nidhogg for the Ishgardians and with Estinian. So, I have no idea how far that is in Heavensward, but somewhere in there. Ben Q, and they did have a pile of ninja watching them. The Crystal Braves, or... yeah. Will you join me, Shroud? You were there at the company's inception. 'Tis only fitting that you present at its end. And I would appreciate the support. And yeah, I'll go with you. And not that I have a choice, but if I did have a choice, I still would go, you know. It is only fitting. Technically speaking, our character was also a founding member, but we didn't really have any agency, so I'm not going to take credit for that. Our character does what the plot tells him to do. A brave resolution. Still, when do we get to kill Ilberd? I'm kind of waiting for that opportunity. I still want to kill Ilberd. Whether he knew or not, we know he didn't. He knew he wasn't killing the Sultana. It doesn't change the fact that he participated in some terrible things, cut off Roban's arm, and yeah, he still needs to die. Completely betrayed us. So yeah, I'll bisect that son of a bitch. My vengeance is still craved there. Ah, what was once home sweet home. Oh, by the way, you're fired. Oh, they're not even wearing the uniforms. Commander? You're alive. Alianne! Whoa, hold on. I thought she was complicit. Okay. Okay, hold on. I was under the... Okay. Because it was by her we were lured out to find the vial full of the poison. Granted, we haven't seen her since... You know, I'm just gonna let this play out, because my brain... You're alive! And Shroud, too. I knew you'd escape through. My splendid Crystal Braves, I have wronged you, all of you. My promises of glory and salvation have brought you naught but blood and betrayal. Bah, you'll not hear us complaining. 'Twas a sight messier than expected, aye. But we was still fighting for the freedom of all, just like we swore. Ain't that right, mates? Aye. You humble me. I am truly blessed to have such steadfast comrades. It is with the most profound regret, then, that I must... That's enough of that, Commander. We know what ye've the mind to say, and we ain't having none of it. What? You ain't in charge? We want to disband, we disband! We've talked it over, see, and we're all agreed. You can take our uniforms and strip us of our ranks, but we won't be no less of a company. But the Crystal Braves... The Crystal Braves may be finished, but the ideals upon which the company was founded live on. They bind us to each other and to you. Commander, Alphino, our minds are made up, so ye may as well get used to it. Let us help the Scions. Let us help you find Minfilia and the others. My friends, after all that has happened, I know not what to say. I would still disband them, but okay. They were captured, but they were loyal? Okay. And I'll accept that as the narrative explanation, but at the same time, I would have inquired about that. I would be like, is there any proof you were captured? That you weren't complicit with what the rest of the Crystal Braves were doing? You know, I would question them about it. I would look for any inconsistencies in their stories. But I get it. You know, that might take too much time narratively. So I'll accept that premise that they were all captured. Still, I thought because the thing is, I'm remembering that Momodi mentioned that she saw Alianne look kind of grave. She looked like she didn't eat anything, and that she left saying that she needed to meet with me. And then when we went to go meet with her, the vial was gone. So was that because she found out about what the rest of the Crystal Braves were doing, and she really did want to meet with us to talk about it, and the other Crystal Braves took the opportunity to capture her, leave the vial there, and I guess I have to assume that's what happened? I don't know. That or she's a double agent again. Pray excuse me, I had thought my tears spent. My grandfather used to say that one could measure a man by the constancy of his comrades. Mayhap I am the exception which proves the rule. Nay, do not protest. I know that I am not worthy of their loyalty shroud. But as Thalieka is my witness, I shall do everything in my power to earn it. You could try talking to them before Alfie. I cannot recall, but they might explain. Oh. We'll find the missing science, I promise you. Between us and the immortal flames, no stone airs us. Okay. I don't know if you know, but during the God's Damn Feast, Philomen got ambushed by some 3rd unit curs over in Limsa. I'm told she danced free of their noose, though ain't heard nothing since. But my guess is she's lying low, somewhere in the port. Okay, at least Philomen's alright. If we scrutinize the Scion's records, they should provide us with likely locations to which the missing Archons might have fled. Put your mind at ease, it is for work just such as this that we have been trained. Alright. Shroud Scythe. I joined the Crystal Braves in hopes of following your footsteps, and I do not regret the decision, not even for a moment. I appreciate it. Alright. Higiri. We must repair the damage of our minds are to find focus. Now where to begin? First things first, we must needs put the Rising Stones in order. We cannot have the Archons return to find their headquarters in such shambles. I think every headquarters of the Scions is cursed to be ransacked. Yeah, she was trying to warn you? Okay. And I'll accept that as explanation. And that's the only way that works, right? I must speak of future plans with the remaining
Braves. A new
Braves.
recruit has blessed our company.
That jumped me. Amund, thank you for subscribing. I apologize. I could not pronounce your last name if I had another second to read it properly. But thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated. I must speak of future plans with the remaining Braves. Any information we uncover of the missing Scions will need to be shared with our allies across the realm, specifically Urianger and in the Waking Sands, and Tataru and Ishgard. Is Tataru staying in the Ishgard? But she's the secretary. While we are organizing our various channels of communication, I would ask that you call upon Master Garland at the manufactory. I will join you in Ishgard as soon as I am able. Aye, aye. At the end of A Realm Reborn, one of the Braves said they captured all those loyal to the Scions when they captured Alfie. Yeah, but they didn't specifically say Alianne, so that's why I, up till now, was under the assumption that Alianne was complicit in the rest of the Braves' treachery, and that she was yet another agent that lured me out. Because Momodi herself said it was Alianne who approached her, not a friend of Alianne's, but her herself. So I'm glad, though, that, yeah, that there is that angle where she was actually aware of what was going on and was going to warn us, but was captured in the attempt, and the traitorous Braves took the opportunity and fucked us over, and also captured her and took advantage of the meeting and left the vial as evidence of our crime. It's all like a Game of Thrones plot. It's amazing writing. So far, the only inconsistency is what Lolorito said about Ilberd saying what he said. I'm not sure, because again, the motivation behind Ilberd's words was to kill Teleji, but Teleji was already dead by the time Ilberd said those things, so kind of doesn't make sense. But again, I'm not sure if that's a writing inconsistency or Lolorito just being a liar. But other than that, the plot seems really, like, it does seem to have a lot of branching paths. There seems to be a lot going on, too. Damn. It's a goddamn well-written story, though. I'm very engaged. I'm enjoying every minute of the game's plot. Every minute of it. Assassinations and coups tend to end up as confusing fusterclucks. I mean, yeah, definitely. Alright.
A new recruit has blessed our company.
Thank you, Dead Fugu Fish, for subscribing. Thank you. Wilhelm Beck. Oh, whoops. Sorry, that was an accident. I'll grab that later. Shroud, how in the seven hells do you do it? I was just about to send for you. We have good timing. We have but this moment completed the Mana Cutter's first successful test flight. A few minor adjustments and she'll be ready to go. While we see to the finishing touches, you might want to pay a visit to Fortom Manor. A dragoon by the name of Estinian was looking for you. Okay, so yeah, he got so fed up he came right back. He's like, these motherfuckers left me waiting here. That's a machinist's job. And I figured it was, but I'm not ready to do that quite yet, so that's an unlock for another time. Probably off stream. About killing Nanamo? Hmm? Is that in response to something I said, or something someone else said in the chat? Welcome, Master Scythe. Shall I show you inside the manor? I would appreciate a good man. Escort me in, if you will. You have fulfilled your obligations to the Uldans, then? Mr. Sotaro has been keeping me appraised of the situation. Once I learned that these mana cutters of Master Garlands were nearing completion, I saw no reason to tarry in the mists. For the present, Nidhogg seems content to remain in the Eyrie, plotting his revenge. Might not this be an apt moment to unfold our plans to Sir Emmerich? I think we have kept him in the dark long enough. Aye. And at this point, we can leave out the whole negotiating with dragons, because it didn't work out anyway. We're going to kill him anyway, so we can just leave that little bit of information out. About killing Nanamo, the thing that Ilbert said? Yeah, and Lolorito said that the reason Ilbert said that was
A new recruit has blessed our company.
Thank you, Josh. Oh, did you... Naughty, naughty, you didn't subscribe till just now? But thank you anyway, I appreciate it. But yes, Lolorito said just earlier that Ilbert was instructed to say those things, that he killed Nanamo to coax Roban into killing Teleji. However, Roban had already killed Teleji because Teleji himself coaxed Roban into doing it. So there was no need for Ilbert to twist the knife to get him to kill Teleji, because Teleji was already murdered by Roban. So that doesn't make sense. So unless that's a plot inconsistency, that means that Lolorito lied. That Ilbert was instructed to say that. That or it's a plot inconsistency. Because otherwise, why would Ilbert say that? Why would Ilbert say that after the purpose of saying it had already been achieved without it having to have been said? Fuck, I can't talk. So yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So either Lolorito is lying about it, or it's a plot inconsistency. Either way, it's not a big problem. I mean, a minor plot inconsistency out of the greatness of the rest of the plot, I don't mind. And I'm surprised that all of it's held up to as much scrutiny as it has so far. There's a lot there. Hyper Night Parade. Hey, man. What's up? Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. How you doing? How you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. I was doing a little bit worse for... Not worse for wear. The chat was stressing me out earlier. I say the chat because I don't want to, like, narrow out the person who was. But there have been some interesting... questionable conversations that have happened in the chat that I have had no ability to curtail, nor any idea how they started. But thankfully, they seem to be have ceased, and we're back on track. Okay, wait. I think I'm in the wrong spot. Yes, I am. Fuck. It's possible Lolorito was simply referring to having Ilbert confirm her death, which he did do. No, that's not what he said, though. That's not what he said. He said, you guys seem to think that okay, hold on. What Lolorito said was I instructed Ilbert to admit or claim that Ilbert killed the Sultana to enrage Roban into killing Teleji. That's what he said. I'm not talking about him confirming or not confirming death. No, because he literally specified Ilbert admitting that his assassination. Unless I'm remembering the whole dialogue wrong, I can go back in the footage later tonight and confirm. But what he said was that I instructed Ilbert to admit to killing the Sultana to coax. That's what I recall him saying specifically. Maybe because the plan was to say that he killed Nanamo to provoke Roban into killing Teleji, but he ended up killing him any before they got to say so. Oh, that's because Ilbert is a dick and still wanted to hurt Roban. That's how I take it. And I suppose that's a fair enough explanation. Do you also welcome Joy? Do you want to know who killed your precious Sultana? Dramatic camera. It was me. Exactly. That's the thing. And it was after he already killed Teleji. So, Nocturne Zen, welcome. Yes, you are correct. However, Ilberd still admitted to provoke Roban because Ilberd despised Roban for not fighting for Alamigo. Okay, so I am correct, thankfully. Fair enough. I suppose that makes sense. The reason he said it was because he just wanted to jab Roban personally. So sorry, I was just thinking about something else for a second there. So with that in mind, it may not be a plot inconsistency. If we presume that's the reason, then yes, that still works. So never mind, even then, there's no plot inconsistency so far, which still impresses me. Even if it was one, though, it doesn't take away from anything. Also, all the crap Ilberd gave him about the bull being weak and useless, and, you know, having his balls chopped off. Granted. Alright, so we need to talk to Sir Hamerick. I don't know why it got really hot in here all of a sudden. What temperature is it outside? Oh, that's why. It's 86 degrees outside. Oh, that explains the heat. One second. Sir Emmerich has been eager to speak with you. Pray proceed. Alright, Sir Emmerich, let's kill Nidhogg and get this shite out of the way. Ilberd equals 0 chill. I'd say so. Ah, love the look.
All stands ready, Lord Commander.
Ah, the moment has come then.
Indeed. Elfino,
Pray
my
excuse
boy.
my lateness. I paid a brief visit to the workshop to inquire about the mana cutters. The engineers assure me that they're ready.
Splendid, splendid.
The area is now but a short flight away. Yet what a long and winding path we took to reach this point. Were it not for Master Alphino's proposal, we never would have attempted to parley with the dragons. Though our negotiations yielded little, our expedition with Lady Isar taught us much.
Speaking of,
Took an unimaginable risk.
I hope she's
I could
alright.
scarce believe the tale Estinian told.
Aye. 'Tis true that many of our countrymen would sooner die than join hands with the heretic's mistress. But 'twas through that most unlikely of alliances that we came to speak with Hraesvelgr.
Oh shit, do we have to tell them? I mean, can we not get executed for heresy, please?
A conversation that went rather poorly, as I recall.
In this instance, the
And it's not that I think
journey was
Sir
more
Emmerich will
important
turn
than
us in, but
destination.
it's a concern. We're in the halls of Ishgard. Someone's listening, probably.
On his guard, the Dravanians would have arrived at Ishgard's walls long ago.
Aye, that they would. Full grateful am I for every hour of respite your actions have afforded us. Thanks to you, our defenses are much improved. 'Tis but a pity they won't be enough.
Thus, you believe an assault upon the area represents the city's best chance of survival. Is that not so, Estinian?
Oh crap, crap. I gotta end the stream. I forgot, today's Monday.
I am under no illusions. Nidhogg's might is legendary.
That's what I
But
forgot.
With his eye in my possession, I can stifle his strength at the source.
My apologies, guys. I forgot. Today we're supposed to go check out a house. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am paying attention, don't worry. I'm just...
Victory will be hard won, even so. And I shall be glad indeed to have the Warrior of Light at my side. You shall have my blade as well. There are more of these mana cutters to be had, yes?
Lord Commander, no.
Cymerk's joining us? Oh, damn.
How can I, a proud knight of Ishgard, stand by and do naught while an outsider risks life and limb for our homeland? I swore an oath to protect this city.
Pray leave the slaying of dragons to dragoons, Sir Knight. Your duty to command the city's defense is no less vital. Should we fail, and Nidhogg slip through our grasp, who then will hold the walls against him? Will you leave Ishgard in the hands of the Holy Sea's
No, it's not anyone's fault but mine. I totally neglected the day.
There are others.
Who but you has the authority and the standing to orchestrate a citywide
Damn it, I don't want to skip it, but...
I do not. And neither does the Warrior of Light. That is why it is our place to fight.
If only there's a way I could postpone this.
Commander. What? You too, Master Alphino? By the Fury. You have shown some promise, but this adversary is far beyond your skills.
Crosses his arms.
Your candor is appreciated, Sir Dragoon.
You can rewatch it if you gotta.
I shall remain
and
cheer you from afar.
if it ends within the next minute, I can quickly turn everything off, get
Well, my friend,
properly
it would
dressed.
seem I have discouraged the last of the volunteers, and claimed the task as ours alone. But if any alive can best this worm, 'tis surely we too.
Okay. Alright. I gotta go, guys. Thank you guys so much for being an awesome audience today. Sorry I gotta rush out like this. I was hoping we could go further, but I totally ghosted the day, and my plans for today happens. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to all who subscribed today. Thank you all for being the most fantastic people. Am I enjoying the game? Absolutely. It's been a fantastic ride, but I really gotta go. Love you guys. You guys are awesome as always. And I'll catch you guys hopefully tomorrow for the next stream. Bye.